All right.
Traveling to High Rock?
What gave it away? This rugged face or my tired gaze? Crossing those valleys will give you both. Ah, little blind girl and her clingy bodyguard, right? They're a couple now? Seem to give that impression on their way here. I digress. Going to make a return journey through that rocky maze once I've got all the wares for my eager clients in the east. And I'm short of a bodyguard myself. The fool who escorted me here got himself lost in the wilds somewhere, staggering from the inn in a drunken stupor. Thought about tying him to the wagon until he came to his senses, yet ultimately, if you're going to put your life in someone's hands, then it better be someone you trust.
And you trust me? We've only just met.
Alright. I'm desperate, you see. Happy now? I just need a body to take the hits in case we get into any trouble. Which we won't, of course. Don't worry, we'll be paid handsomely. That is, if you don't drop the venture halfway through and push through to the end.
Yeah, I'll jump on. Always wanted to see High Rock.
Don't want to blow the wind out of your sails, but this is the east of High Rock. Worlds apart from the west. Don't want you to be getting any false impressions of us Breton folk from the, people you meet down there. There I go rambling again. Get aboard. New lands await. Hope you brought your own rug. That hardwood's gonna be a real pain later on. Don't get too comfortable though. Still need a blade ready for when the road gets rough. Damn, we're on the doorstep of the kingdom, yet the gods ordain that we stumble across trouble now? What a farce.
What happened here?
Those witchmen in the tower. They ambushed us when we were changing shifts. Won the divide. Get them to send men, please.
Look over there! The man's gasping for life! I'm not going any further until you find out what's going on.
Why don't you go look instead?
Hey now, I'm just a merchant! I try to avoid spilled blood. Besides, what else am I paying you for? No, friend. Not forsworn. Witchmen. Thought I told you about these devils already?
Must have forgotten.
Trust me, these aren't the type you want to be ignorant about. If you treat them like you would any common scoundrel hounding for your coin purse, then the next sight you'll be seeing is that of your gods. Bastards coat their blades and arrows with this vile poison. A resin so foul it can condemn giants to an agonizing death with nary a brush. Not sure how you came out of that alive, to be honest. You're tougher than you look.
I've faced worse.
Really? That's hard to believe. These scum are a whole new low for the Reachmen. Carving up man, woman, child and babe alike in their hideous rituals. Sadistic artists. How they play with the bodies they harvest and hoist them in that dense woodland north. Foul. Simply foul. Spoiled my mood. At least you've made it back. I was about to do one. Had you spent any longer up there? You shouldn't. The divide is within spitting distance. If you keep to the road, you should arrive there without harm. Unless you take a detour, that is. That's where my almighty prescience ends and the uncertainty begins. And as we know, ignorance pays. My clients are probably waiting with bated breath, taken long enough to get here already. I'll need to skip on any indulgences on that bridge and head straight to Arnima. However, you should speak with the governor up there, Morosa. Frumpy little woman, but don't tell her I said that. She'll normally be within the temple, sparing a prayer for our mutual mother.
Mutual mother?
Mara, you fool! If there's one god you should know in the Reach, then it's her. The people don't take kindly to those who know not about her grace. I'll see you around, friend. Give my thanks to Morosa for keeping this road so safe.
And the clouds gather again. How futile. Your tears will not wash away the roots. The feast draws near, little wolves.
Hold up. Haven't seen you up here before. What's your business? Witchman? Bloody Mara. Never thought they would get this close. Okay, you can go through to Morosa. Tell her everything. For the sake of the Reach. Keep safe.
Heard the news from Skyrim. They say that Ulfric was captured and killed.
He wasn't killed. A dragon came to rescue him.
Dragon? Come to hear the latest news. Lest you forget that there's more to the Reach than your own bridge. Horrific doom befalls the hamlet of Sabbath, torn to shreds by vile magic.
Hey, new face, do me a favor, will you? Please, I'll make it worth the trouble.
What is it, beggar?
Look, I need some gear, friend. Real fast, like. I'm willing to part with whatever gold I got here, if ya agree, that is. Just need you to give the rest of this pouch to a fella named Elrich, down in Arnima. He'll be festering with the rest of our ilk, you know, beggars. You've earned yourself a friend. Anything you need, I mean anything, and I'll return the favor. Just don't go asking while my eyes are at the back of my head. That's my happy time. Sometimes I yearn for those simpler times, where a cold winter was the worst of our concerns. Returning to those days with a rake in hand rather than a sword.
Nostalgia, sir. Nothing but. The dull and stagnant are twins in this life. Yet fortune favours those in your craft. Potentially knighthood.
Good evening.
To speak of Mortarvane. I've heard the news from the council that his seat in Arnima may be put into question.
You heard correct, because he and his guards are demanding more gold from the merchants, while also becoming more aggressive. No better than thugs. And that little lord does nothing but encourage it. I despise that unsightly man. Every conversation with him is extremely unpleasant. His paranoia also makes it so we can't have any of our own in that town to keep an eye on him.
I have a missionary within the temple down there. He shares whispers with me on occasion. If you need consoling on this, you only need to ask. If I may beg my pardon, I shall return to servicing this temple.
Very well. Make a prayer that nothing terrible arises from this disorder. It's good to have the gods listening in times like this. Cease with your pestering.
Morosa?
Have we arranged a meeting, or is it your intent to address nobility lacking proper decorum? Speak quickly, lest you rile my temper. Oh, a harbinger of grim news. Not the best first impression. Well, thank you for telling me in advance of my own guards. It was only a matter of time before they spilled further east.
I'm just the messenger.
Pardon the introduction, yet understand the need for it. We can't have any wandering yokel approach royalty like they're of the same stock. It's not good for the kingdom's image. We'll have the guard there as soon as possible. But for you, are you interested in some coin? We need someone to talk to us.
What do you need done?
Yes, well, onto the matter. To the east of this bridge lies the town of Ornima, formerly Raven Spring, lest you run into a resident whose mind is stuck in bygone years. Can get confusing, much like everything else in this land. Within Ornima, you will find Jakos, who trains the scout detachment there. He's the only man that I somewhat trust, who's not completely beholden to his lord. Ask him about rumors. Tell him that I sent you. He should understand your intent. We've conducted affairs before. A simple nod from him will be more than enough information for you to infer. You don't need to know any further than that. Now, off you go. Earn a small fortune for yourself. I heard Evermore has many an opportunity to entertain your proclivities. On the stipulation of coin, mind you. Such coin that will be available on your return. Off you go.
Stranger, fancy an extra blade to accompany you through the menagerie that is the Reach? Who said I'm not working for our mum as well? If it makes you feel any better, I spare a little prayer for every unfortunate bastard that happens to meet my axe. Besides, haven't you done just the same thing? Maybe poor of vision, but I ain't deaf. Always a spin, huh? Look, I ain't gonna knock you for earning a little extra coin. Not many other options to do so around the Reach. Though if you're ever feeling down and you need a rough pauldron to cry on, then I'm your man. Though I've got a little problem with my legs. You see, they can't move unless I rub 'em with some coin. Say, 500 septums to be exact. So, will you help a poor old codger to walk again? Till next time.
Come on, Hattie. Almost there. Have all the hay you want.
What's that?
Ah, we have a rat on our hands.
What was that?
Yeah.
Did you hear something? I guess I was just hearing things.
You alright?
Spit it out.
You alright?
How are you dealing with the plague?
Scorched near every sickly horseman we've come across. So yeah, we're managing. Though their numbers don't seem to be dropping, they damn gain another 2 for every one we light up. God knows how many still live out there. And we can't be sending any more lads on their way. Don't want any more of us falling foul to this pox.
Need any help in the meantime?
How convenient. Yes, friend, we do need some help. You see, these orange skins aren't content with rotting away in some hole. They're turning vicious, lashing out and coughing their lungs out to anyone who draws near. And that bile they vomit can burn down to the bone. We thought the gear the kingdom supplied could protect us somewhat, but we soon learned otherwise.
Go on.
You may see where I'm going with this. Had a friend who caught the worst of their venom. Must have been sprayed through his visor. Now he's vanished, and had no clue to where, till recently. News surfaced that he's cozening up with the stick just north of here, up in the ravine. Too many afflicted for us to do anything just yet.
What would you have me do?
Now all we need is some information, get him to spill his agenda. And as you should expect, you're not going to go barging in there with sword in hand. So a friendly talk, all we ask. You capable of that?
Sure, I can do it.
Gift of the gab, not gift of the blade. Keep it calm and it'll go smoothly. And if that option's not open, then take this. Pop the flare if you sense trouble high enough so we can see. I'll send the boys over to cover your escape. Good luck. Keep safe.
I came to aid the souls here.
Good evening.
You should read this letter.
Nah, I don't think so. Until next time.
What do you need?
You seem to be the head of this rabble.
Should probably ditch this hunk of iron. Doesn't take much to command authority other than a full set of armor. So yeah, guess I'm somewhat of a leader. And you? Didn't just wander in with an absent mind, I'm guessing. You know, I was curious why we haven't seen them skulking about. Those arsonists, that is. Thought the dogs were hatching some plot to raise this dwelling of ours.
The priests have called them back.
What a relief. Finally, the priests have gotten through to the military. Not often does that lead to good. Yet they're desperate to seek a cure. A cure that won't come about through burning those who may carry it. All right, missionary. How do you plan to help? You know what? Before we give up such personal details, maybe you can do something for us. It's not enough to barge in proclaiming divine guidance and expect us to submit. We need something else, more tangible. Since you've been sent by the priests, you must have some sway with them, else they wouldn't feel confident sending you. Now, I know for a fact those priests hoard a good number of potions to slow this malady. Their crests were found on each package that was sent over when I was still part of the kingdom. Now, you can have a word with those priests, get us those potions, and we'll get into the nitty-gritty here. Got that?
Understood.
Good to hear. And, you best not tell the priests about the specifics of this charity case. They may be men of mercy, but politics and beliefs don't mesh. Let's have a look at them. Pure. Distilled. Nothing seems to be floating in there. Was expecting you to bring me vials of piss. Glad you kept your word. Now I'll have to get these to those bedridden. May give them a few more months.
So, back to what we were saying. What are your plans for this refuge?
Look around you, missionary. This isn't a place one can live out their years. We have to find more land, for food and people. Because if it isn't this sickness that claims us, then it'll be starvation. A far worse fate than burning, I assure you. Since this plague is bringing more souls to this little get-up, we're gaining more sway. Sway that we can use to leverage some type of deal with the city south.
What will you propose to them?
Get them to pull back their butchers and have us settle some land east. upon some fertile stretch. They can wedge us between the many knolls out there and have us out of sight. If it means we can live on without the threat of a painful death.
What if they refuse?
It took 4 days for this affliction to fully turn me into the very people I slaughtered. I could have coughed my lungs out to my brothers in arms while they dozed off. I didn't, but it could have been so easy. This plague could have run rampant through their kingdom, yet it didn't. All through my loyalty to that banner. Now, if the kingdom seeks to spurn its loyal subject, then loyal it ceases to be. They need to remember that they're not the only plotters out here.
Those threats may bring even more chaos.
My time in exile has not been an idle peace. Many plans have been dwelled on. For contingency purposes, of course. What I'm saying is, they'll get theirs if my deal is turned down. Trust me on that. You mean those dogs, trained from birth to kill without hesitation, are planning to slay a brother who left the pack? Shocked they haven't done it sooner. Maybe desensitized to death, but it doesn't mean they're brave. I knew they hadn't the numbers to assault us before. Yet something must have changed. Most probably word from up high forcing their hand.
All right. I'll see to it that they don't burn this place to the ground.
A fighter, are we? You're full of surprises. Well, if you can wield a blade, then you're better help than most here. And I've got to warn you, friend. You're going to earn the wrath of the kingdom for this. If you leave any witnesses of the kingdom. Get my drift?
I understand.
No mercy to be found out here. They'll come in with balls as big as boulders, thinking we're too meek to resist. But we'll give them a real shock, won't we? Now, let's get ready.
They also gave me a flare to use in case I was in trouble.
Yeah, of course they did. Foolish of me to forget, since they had another poor fool do the same a week before my leaving. That fool never returned, and never popped that flare. But you will.
Huh, why?
As good a lure as any. They won't expect the one they're running to help to turn cloak, will they? Dirty, I know, but there's no clean way to survive in the Reach. Find a spot where you've got a clear line to the sky. Make sure they get a good look at that flare, as there's only one. Good luck. Don't be dying on me now.
You alright?
The rogue seems to be amassing a force to return to the cities.
Damn fool. What does he hope to achieve in sending his sickly crew against the walls? Does he wish for death? Now, as per our order, he has to be cut down, as well as those who colluded with him. We can't entertain even the threat of this disease breaching this gate.
I've done my part.
Cheers for the help. I was hesitant that you performed this well, but here you are with everything I asked for. Have this for a good day's work. The gate's open to you, for now. Plenty of vices to blow your coin in Evermore. You can trust me on that. Keep safe.